What it is, what it do, what's happening? Welcome back to the Fear the Hive 1155 podcast, season 2, episode 11, with Steven, Jason, and Dom. And we just want to give a quick shout out to our Carolina Storm listeners. Thank you for just listening to us, really. Yeah, just thank you. Because you didn't have to.
But you do.
But you do.
Very much appreciate you.
Very grateful.
Absolutely.
Man. All right. So, all right, guys, we got quite a few to hit today. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. Steve, where we at, man?
Hey, man. I'm trying not to watch Carolina lose to San Diego State and screw up my bracket on the first day.
Already? Oh, that's right.
Already.
Bracket season, man.
It is bracket season.
Ooh,
I have one bracket, so
everybody is chasing that elusive $1 million from Mr. Warren Buffett himself, and you know, he already knows statistically it's impossible.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Is it?
Oh yes. He knows it's statistically impossible. That's why it's just a running thing.
Interesting.
Oh,
did not know that. Did not know that.
Imagine the 1 year that somebody does get it perfect. How many bricks is he gonna poop out of himself?
It's Warren Buffett. $1 million to him is like $50 to you.
Like, 50 is $1.
Yeah, keep the change.
Yeah, man, he don't fret about. Hey, man, I saw somebody's post earlier today that said, since Trump became president, Elon
has lost.
Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg have lost a combined $210 billion of net worth.
Elon's like 100 at it alone.
Yeah.
How?
Marketers now, and most of their net worth is tied into their stocks. And
like,
you know, in that sort of situation,
Tesla's very down.
They're down $210 billion. But here's the thing. We don't tax them, so they don't feel it.
Right.
And if they can be down $210 billion and not feel a thing, they could pay more in taxes. But that's a soapbox moment for another time.
Hey,
let's catch up.
Speaking of that bracket, who you got winning?
Houston, baby. H-Town.
Man, you just got there. What are you talking about, man?
Okay, first of all, look at the rankings. Who's the number 1 seed in the nation? Houston.
Dude.
Didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
You thought I was trying to be a homer? No, man. Look, I haven't watched one basketball game for college this year. I picked off a name recognition. I saw one half of Houston playing, and I was like, them boys are playing like they want more NIL money. So I picked them to win. There you go.
Nah, but legit, yeah, they've been on the come up for the last at least 5 to 8 years too. So
because they paying the kids good.
Oh, absolutely. Good. Yeah, what was it? A couple years ago, they gave them all like trucks, like Ram 1500s or something.
That was the University of Utah. But yes,
yeah,
I remember when that happened. It was University of Utah. But yes, everybody on the football team got Ram trucks. If you go to University of Texas, right, like College Station, Texas,
they give you cows,
and you are a starter. You know what they give you? You know what they let you? What you know what they lease you?
What?
Guineas.
Oh my God!
Who?
Lamborghinis. That's stupid.
No,
that's dumb. Just idiotic.
As starters,
I want one.
That's just financially irresponsible.
Well, no, they have to spend the money.
No. You don't understand. They lease you.
Yeah.
You signed for it, but the collective pays for it.
Mm-hmm. Every big name school has a collective of like donors and whatnot that pays the kids or buys them things and whatnot. Now that the whole NIL deal is a thing, so now the schools are endorsed to pay the kids. Do whatever you want.
Oh no. Let's be clear. The school's not paying the kids. The collectives are paying the kids. Right? Oh, just like your boy Jalen Carter. for the Eagles.
Yeah.
The reason why he was drafted by the Eagles is because his draft stock went down. His draft stock went down because he was in a racing accident after the national championship winning at the University of Georgia, during which one of his football player teammates died. So his draft stock went down. And the Philadelphia Eagles was like, he was about to be first pick in the draft. We got the number 12 pick. We're going to pick him. And that's why they are as good as they are. But yeah, he was driving a freaking Hellcat. Him and the other guy. Hellcat. Yeah, there you go.
The association with black people and Hellcats are, I don't know. It's it's almost like the association with like how we used to drive. Well, the black people used to drive like Crown Vics. I'm to that point, like I don't want that association anymore.
Why?
Because like I have so many these car channels where, you know, the first thing is like a guy walks in, is like, let me guess, you want a Hellcat, don't you? And it's just like he's portraying a black guy, and it's like, oh gosh, yes, that is true, isn't it?
I mean, they used to do that with us about Cadillacs, but
true.
I mean, when you can't buy a home, you bought a Cadillac back in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s. That was your sign of wealth. Whereas in other communities that were not African American, homes were your sign of wealth. So we bought Cadillacs. Now, if you can't get a loan, guess who will give you a loan? Stellantis.
Yeah.
If you got enough cash down, Stellantis will give you a loan. So there you go.
I will give you guys a quick sneak peek into my bracket.
Who you got winning?
Slight dark horse. Come on, get here.
Hey, baby, how you doing? You watching? Thank you so very much for watching.
I got Florida.
And if you're watching, and if you got Florida women, man, Florida ain't winning nothing.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just said it because I don't like Florida.
I had a very scientific process this year.
Pick all the number ones?
No. No. There's only
Please, tell us.
I asked ChatGPT this year.
Boo, bye. Jason, I don't even want to talk to you now. Jason, how's your week been since the last time we talked? God, dog, this man said I asked ChatGPT for the winner.
No. I didn't ask it for the winner. I asked it to go through the bracket and go through the stats and all the other statistics, and then account for the upsets and whatnot, and go through each matchup and give me a winner. It just does it faster than I do. So I said, all right, cool, let's do it.
That also,
you know what?
Do all of that.
If it actually comes back kind of accurate,
exactly. That's what I'm testing. Essentially,
that's going to be a little scary.
That's what we're testing here.
And my Wi-Fi
that's a good test. That's a good test. I like it. But yeah, Jason. Since Dominic is over here in AI world, trying to be Mr. iRobot. How was your week? What has happened since the last time we talked to you?
Let's see. Blood pressure still up. Stress level still high. Work is slowly killing me. Yeah.
No, Sherelle, it's our bracket, not ChatGPT's bracket. It's our.
Yeah, that's
bracket.
what you think. When it's time to pay, they're gonna intercept the email.
I wish they would.
Jason, so what's going on in your world? It's got you all discombobulated.
I really wish I could talk about this stuff on here, but I can't go into details.
Work stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I can't go into details, unfortunately.
Can it be
off the air? Yes, I can vent all day long. While we're live, unfortunately, I cannot discuss due to NDA. I like to keep the job until I get another job.
Yeah. I was about to be your anger translator, but I was like, that probably would be bad too, so I'm gonna let that ride.
Can it be solved?
No, you could definitely be the translator.
Can it be solved with a red stripe?
Nah, as a Trini, we don't drink red stripe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Trini Jamaican beef.
Shut up.
No. Where my flags?
What is it? What is the beer choice over there?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, what is the
Boom.
beer choice over there?
All day. All day. Represent. Trinity Bone. A real beer is a Carib.
You see how he said that?
Carib.
A real beer, implying that Red Stripe is. You know what? I'm not gonna poke the bear today. I'm gonna let it ride.
We have two bears, two national bears on the island. A real bear is a Carib. A man's bear is a stag.
Okay.
There's a difference. You see, you
Ah,
work
Carib
a
Brew.
hard, stressful day. You get an ice cold stag. Everything is just at peace.
Everything's Irie.
Yep. I'm not Jamaican.
It was a test. It was a test. I wanted to see which one of y'all were going to respond. Dominique said nothing, and you were like, "I'm not Jamaican." So
Not Jamaican.
side eye, Dominique.
Everything
Dominique, was that?
Everything day.
Yeah. Okay, I got to learn a new phrase then. That's what's up. These streets. So aside from your Chat GBT bracket, Dominique, what's been going on with you? How's whiskey doing?
Oh, he's doing good. He's doing really good. He's getting big. Looked at him the other day, and I was
dog.
like,
"It's the dog."
Oh.
You thought we were about to have a
empty over here. I mean,
you thought we were about to have a whiskey conversation?
I thought we weren't drinking on the air.
No, we're not. That's not. You're right. You're right. We're not doing that. How's?
he's definitely doing good. He's got his next appointment, I think, next week. They called to schedule that, or to confirm it.
Which appointment is this?
I think it's just his second round of shots, and he's gonna get his rabies shot too. And yeah,
it's not the cone appointment,
huh?
Yeah, did you get the insurance? What insurance do you have?
You
got the good insurance. Remember?
No,
got a DNA tested.
No. It's just the wellness plan. It's not insurance.
My bad.
From what I understand,
people like me don't know the difference. Go ahead.
From what I've talked with, from what I've come up with from the people of the Caucasus Mountains.
Wow.
They said,
"Oh Lord!"
They said it's a rip-off to get the insurance because it don't really cover nothing. One lady said that she had her dog broke both of its back legs, and she still had to pay $5,000 a pop for each leg.
You want to know why? Because she didn't read her coverage plan. She didn't read her policy. Get Lemonade. Lemonade will cover.
Yes, Jason.
Did you say per leg?
Per leg, yes. Not for both. Per leg.
$5,000 per leg.
Per leg.
Bro, it's $250 to cremate a dog. I'm sorry.
Look, I told the guy, I was joking with my wife about that. I was like, look, whiskey, he's a great addition to the family right now and all that. But yeah, if it ever comes to that, hey man, it's been a nice run.
Real talk. I know people love their dogs, and I love my dog. Don't get me wrong, but if my dog gets cancer, bro, he's going to be with Jesus. That's what it is. I'm sorry. And the first sign that the cancer is inflicting pain upon him, oh no, I'm gonna baptize him. I'm gonna give him communion. He's gonna be with the Lord.
Not communion.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I what, $5,000 a leg? I don't love you that much.
A leg
per leg. Bro. So did they get the legs fixed?
Yeah, they did.
$10,000,
bro.
No. I love you.
That thing will be walking around here like in a wheelchair or something before I do
that. They got dog rollies.
Yeah,
No. For $10,000, the legs better move themselves. The dog better be lazy. All right.
Man, for $10,000, I get another dog. What
you get a few.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Around the down payment on a Hellcat.
Wiping my tears,
bro.
Doing burnouts.
My dog always wanted me to go fast. Yep. I'm peeling out for him. This donuts because he loves donuts. Exactly.
Oh my God.
It's been a long day. I'm really tired.
So Steve,
I'm sorry.
Steve, how has your week been?
Oh. Are you ready for the shenanigans?
I'm ready.
Okay. So my dad got a DNA test done because he's in a study, right?
Uh-oh.
Got a DNA test done.
23andMe?
No. He's in like a clinical study, and a part of the study they had to do a DNA test to see if the condition that he has is genetic to tell us whether or not, as his children, we have. Right. And so he got the DNA test done. Great conversation. He texted me, he's like, "You want to be on the call?" I was like, "Yeah, I love DNA stuff, So we're on the call, and that lady from the Caucasus Mountains said, she said, your DNA comes back Irish. Right? That's the first thing that she said. And I was like, man, I knew it. That's why I'm mad all the time, number one. And see, I knew there was some reason why I had a kindred love for St. Patrick's Day. Okay. So I'm claiming I'm Irish. Would you like the explanation around how I know I'm Irish?
Please.
Okay. So my great grandmother, my grandfather's mother, was a slave because my grandfather was born in like 1884, something like that.
Okay.
I have it written down somewhere. Like I'm supposed to remember it. I have his birthday memorized, but not the date. So he's born in 1800s, but his mother was a slave, right? The mother was a slave. And so his mother and the slave master. Yeah. So that's how I know I Irish blooded. That's real. I got Irish in me. 1889. Thank you, mother. 1889. He's born in 1889, right? So when I say things like I'm 2 generations removed from slavery, yes, that I'm not playing. I'm not joking at all. But he also told the lady from the Caucasus Mountains also said that I'm a scammer by DNA. In other words, I'm Nigerian. So I said, if I had known, I'd have been sending out emails a long time ago.
I had to swallow that one. I had to pause.
My God.
Wow.
I have Irish in my blood, and I have Nigerian in my blood. What up?
Some idiot was peeling through our freaking neighborhood and hit the neighbor's car. These neighbors just moved into the house 2 houses down from me. Just moved in.
What did he hit him in? Did he stop? What did he keep going?
A Hellcat.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Serious.
Everybody can't drive a Hellcat. Just because you can buy one, don't mean you can drive one. Okay.
So my wife came down here. She's like, "Yeah, somebody had an accident outside." I'm like, "What?" I look out there. Like I said, it's my house, it's my neighbor, my neighbor Nelson's house, and then it's a house that was just sold, and the people just moved in like last week, and they've been parking that Bronco out there on the street.
Is it a new Bronco?
This is a relatively new, at least within the last 2 years.
No, I mean like a new model year Bronco.
I can't tell. It's not the OJ day.
You either got the OJ one or you got the new one. That's the only two you got.
There's only 2 choices.
It's a newer one. Sorry. Yeah, it's a late model Bronco. Sorry, my bad.
So the non-OJ one. Okay.
Yeah,
the non-OJ one, the one with the bug eyes. Okay.
Yeah. He hit that thing hard too.
Did you hear it? You heard it. You had to.
No, that's the thing. I didn't hear it.
Well, she heard it. You had your earphones on, so
right. And so
again, just because you can buy a Hellcat, doesn't mean you can drive one.
Idiot.
At this point, why would you?
Here's my theory on buying cars like super fast. There's no reason for me to buy like a super fast car if I can't drive super fast in it. Regular.
Thank you, Jason. Please, Jason, could you please take this one, Jason? Can you please take this?
With pleasure. Says the man that has 2 Teslas. That can
man that has insane
right
mode
now and outrun a Bugatti in a takeoff.
Point being, when I'm not outrunning Bugattis, it's a very eco-friendly vehicle.
That ain't why you
Save
bought
the
it. You bought it
environment.
because it could outrun a Bugatti.
Exactly.
So
He's like, do you deny it? I feel like Scar.
man, you guys are the worst.
That's
But
why
yeah.
you keep us around.
That's exactly why you keep us around. Anyhow, I'm currently looking for a kilt that will fit because next year for St. Patrick's Day, I'm going full Irish, full blown Irish.
I don't blame you.
You know what's funny? My great grandfather was Scottish.
Word.
100%.
So we're not supposed to like each other, but you know what? It's okay. We don't have to hold to the poor decisions of our forefathers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it also explains why you be so upset, because I'd be upset too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm upset all the time. That's the Irish in me.
36% Nigerian.
36, baby.
Both y'all scammers. Okay. Gotcha.
But what surprised me was I'm Jewish.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm Jewish.
How are you Jewish? Well, I don't see Jewish anywhere on there.
2% right here. Oh, you guys can't see that. Okay.
Oh, that's Ashken. You're a Nazi?
Hey, it says Jew.
No. I want you to pronounce the word before Jew. That's what I want.
Ashkenazi.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna Google that so that I don't.
1% Portuguese. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, they continue to update these.
So you just all over Africa, huh?
All over. All over.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Nigeria twice.
Yeah, Central Nigeria, and then
Got a lot of Nigeria in your blood.
Mm.
All right.
Well, that's because I'm closer to that side because of my mom being Jamaican.
You know, truthfully, when I found out that I was part Nigerian, I was thinking to myself, I feel very, what's what I'm looking for here? I feel like I know something about myself that I did not know before. You know, like I have a sense of identity, if you will.
Interesting.
Like I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just slightly in perspective at the moment.
A little bit of royalty.
Maybe
I ain't call you Prince Howard.
Maybe not. But yep, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And now that I'm on that, hey man, I called my aunt up the other day. I said, hey, take down this number. She's like, what number? I was like 578-234-512. She was like, what is that? That's the wire transfer number. You need to send money right now. Somebody has been kidnapped. I was practicing. It's my birthright.
Oh Lord.
Okay. All right. We can move on. I'm gonna be stupid like this. I promise you, it's gonna be at least 3 episodes where this Nigerian stuff is gonna come back. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. But yeah, okay. So let's have a conversation. I want to have a conversation. We'll get to the shout outs later. I want to have a conversation now. I want to get your thoughts and ideas about.
You're setting this up like a meeting I had earlier today.
Huh? Wait, what?
The way you're wording everything is literally how I walked into a meeting today.
That must have been a bad meeting then. God
it did not end well for that person.
Clearly it didn't. I can see how it wouldn't. Let's talk for a minute. Let's talk for a minute. I had a conversation with someone over the weekend, and I was probing them about their understanding of patriarchy and the idea of the lesser vessel.
What do you do?
The what?
Air quotes, man. Air quotes. The pane on my screen is so small that I can't. Anyhow, the lesser vessel. Right. Okay. So, lesser vessel is the term that people use when they're referring to this biblical ideology that says that women are supposed to be subservient to men. Right. They use terms like lesser vessel, or they don't use subservient. They use submissive, if you will. Right. And so I was thinking, man, He's stupid. Actually, I know what I was watching. I was watching people in Ghana talk about the transformation and the adjustments that have been made by men in the country as women in the country start ascending to different levels of leadership, right? And there was a couple guys that were really cool. There's one guy who was like, no, it's wrong. Like they should just be in the home. They shouldn't be allowed to work. They shouldn't be the president. And I was looking at him going, bro, fragile much?
Right.
Like,
your ego's very fragile.
okay, so it's not just me. So
No.
can you please flesh that out a little bit more for the people that are watching?
Check this out, because look at during World War II, who was at home? Not just they weren't homemakers. Who was making the bullets? Who was making the ammunition? Who was making all of that stuff?
Woman.
Who was in the steel mills? The women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what? This idea that women can't do it is absolutely stupid.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah, it's
ludicrous,
sexist.
But there's a large contingent that push the idea that women should be barefoot and pregnant, which I don't disagree that they should be pregnant from time to time. And they should be able to walk around their house without shoes on when they want to.
Yeah.
But there's no logic that says,
I save.
Right.
I'm good at this. I'm good at this word stuff. Okay. There's no logic. There's no biblically based, there's no culturally based logic outside of like culture that comes from the Caucasus Mountains that says that women should only bear children and make a home. Matter of fact, there's literally in every culture of the world that has melanin in their skin, the women are by and large seen, if not seen as being equal, they're seen as being capable, right?
Yeah.
And so we've got like a generation of people that are looking at this and looking at women excelling and ignoring, if they were having self-reflection, the very real reality that they feel like they are in danger of losing opportunities for employment or leadership or whatever because women are capable.
Yeah.
To which I say, how about you just step your game up? Like, if she's better than you, guess what?
Just
she's
say
better than you.
So there's two things. First, fictionally, we've seen this come across in the MCU, the Dora Milaje.
Yep.
The best warriors in the world, women.
Yes.
I mean, even what was the movie with Viola Davis, The Woman King? You know, a lot of that's an all woman fighting force. And but then also, I have an issue with it, especially when Trump started, when he got rid of the two quote unquote DEI hires for the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the woman and the black man. I'm like, why would you do that? Yes, they can technically pick, but why? Why were just these two people singled out?
Well, we know why they were singled out.
True. Yes, we do know. But I mean, even the Caucasian woman, like she worked hard to get there, extremely hard. And then you just have now, maybe within the last year, the first woman ranger who actually passed the course.
Yeah, that's
really
big. That's big.
Yes,
that's big. That's really big.
Like to be able to pass that course is mind blowing. I mean, even just normally, just to pass the course is crazy. But for her to pass the course and stand with, because do you think her peers care? No, she met the requirements. It is what it is. But I don't. Women can do just about anything as men. And I mean, honestly, to be honest, if you really wanted this government to tighten up, you probably should have had a woman in office anyway.
Like there's a Jason.
Yes.
Wait, what are you thinking?
Okay, so I agree with everything you're saying. Unfortunately, society right now cannot accept a woman in power. Period.
which is crazy.
It is crazy. It is fully crazy. I personally believe a woman is more than capable of running everything. I mean, when you break it down, even biblically, and correct me if I'm wrong, women are the giver of life. Without
Not-
women, we will not be here. I've yet to
yeah.
see a man give birth.
Hmm. Scientifically
Don't
speaking,
do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
Don't,
it. Don't do 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 it.
don't.
Don't do it.
don't
Don't
do
do it.
what?
I know what you're about to say. We're not even gonna go there.
Scientifically speaking, what gender are we when, before we become male?
Female before we become male. All
Exactly.
of us.
The X
Anyway.
chromosome is present regardless.
Anyway, like I said, unfortunately, society is not ready to handle a woman in power, no matter where you put them. Even if
Yeah.
it's just them being a regular manager at a basic job to running the country. Society is not ready. And unfortunately, you have too many, um, what do you say, Caucasian, what?
Caucasus Mountains. Yes.
Well, not
You
even
have too
just.
many white people. Me not sugarcoat nothing.
She said, forget about the pretense.
You have too many white people that just won't allow it.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's
so
stuck in that old way where women should just bear babies and take care of a house.
here's the funny part. That particular outlook ain't just, like people from the Caucasus Mountains.
Hmm.
They're not the only ones that have that ideology, right?
No, it's
Like,
not because you do have a lot of different cultures that actually, to
Mhm.
this day, still have the women at home raising the kids.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hispanic
well,
culture is like that as well.
okay, so
Yeah, but that one's slightly different though.
let me back this back up, right? Because
Mhm.
even when you say that, that is a product of colonialism, right?
Right.
Because pre-colonialism, every memoir from every explorer that either landed in America, in the Caribbean, or in South America were very explicit about the fact that those cultures had women that were on equal footing within the culture to men.
Right.
That is the case. And even if I'm remembering correctly, even in African culture, right, pre the colonial exploits that fomented the slave trade,
Hmm.
there was culture that venerated women as opposed to subjugated them, right?
Did you just say venerated? I gotta write that one down.
Right.
Hey man, look,
Big word of
I
the
am
day.
I'm a fountain of
Venerate.
words that you might be able to use sometimes.
I would never play words with friends with you.
Yeah, absolutely not. You know,
Hey,
Jason, we're
I'm
gonna have
a
to cut him out.
beast at word with friends. Ask my mother-in-law; she loses regularly, and she is unhappy. Now, all of this stems from patriarchy's interpretation
Hmm.
of biblical scriptures, right? The Bible describes women as the lesser vessel, as a helpmeet, as a source of wisdom. And insecure men have used this to subjugate and oppress women, right? The general idea that women are less than men is not a biblical idea. Matter of fact, almost every woman in biblical writing that is named uh, are described
Mhm.
with a
Come on with it.
level of respect
Mhm.
befitting of someone that is a partner, not a slave or a subject.
Right.
Okay. So the idea that the Bible says that women should be subjugated by men is a false narrative, right?
Farce.
It's much in the way that people use the Bible to say that black people should have been slaves. It's a false narrative, but it's used by and large to, remove from women the very notion that they are capable of being without men, right? That they're capable of excelling, of contributing. When the history of the world, the accurate history of the world, notes that at every critical point in society, we'll get to that. At every critical point in society, advancements are made specifically because of the contributions of women in society, even while they're being subjugated.
Oh, what was that? That movie, NASA, Hidden Figures.
Yes.
Hidden Figures is one of them. I just found out that it was a black woman
That came up with
that,
GPS.
No, that
Oh.
that created the basis of what 2G was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how did I not know this? Like, this is
'Cause
amazing.
we were kings and queens before they took us away.
First of all, not all of us were kings and queens. There were like 3 of us that were kings and queens. The rest of us were just regular people. And
It was our cousins,
That's
man.
okay. That's
They was our
okay.
cousins. All right, chill.
That's okay. No, man.
Way to bring a man down.
No, I'm just saying, yo,
What
black
happened?
people be saying that. Black people say that as if to say there were like hundreds of kings and queens. Right. No, there were not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you want to feel better because you want to say that there were we were all kings, you know, okay, fine. You can say that. But the truth of the matter is that's not the case. And in African society, you did not have to be a king to have value, to have worth, to have wealth, to have land, to have property. You didn't have to be a king for that, right? That is not a invention of African culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like worth being tied to royalty. That's not an African thing. So, you know, and I get why people say that, much like I get why the Hebrew Israelites say that, you know, those people that are in Israel right now are not the real Israelites. I mean, they're not, but that's a conversation that's deeper than just saying that they're not. Like, you really have to explain why they're not.
Yeah. But I mean, like, for me, I love the fact that, you know, if there's a black woman trying to do something, hey, by all means, go for it. I need you to do it, because when my food is wrong, I'm not going to complain about it. My wife will. I need her to complain about it. When my Chili's order comes out completely wrong and I ask for no corn or no broccoli, I got
a question.
I'm sorry.
I got a question.
Yep.
You are a grown man.
Thank you.
With a wife and kids. Why are you sitting down eating at Chili's? That's all I want to know.
Hey, me and my wife, we went to Chili's this past weekend.
I said sitting down and eating at Chili's. I didn't say anything about the food.
We sat at the bar.
All right.
We want to have drinks, you know. We want to watch the game outside of our house, away from our kids, and just have us date.
I just want to make sure.
See, it doesn't always have to be Morton Steakhouse. It doesn't always have to be Cheesecake Factory. It doesn't always have to be, you know.
Wait a minute. You said Cheesecake Factory, like the menu at Cheesecake Factory ain't exactly the same as the menu at Chili's. Like, yo, they're not.
It's not.
I'm not saying that the menu is the same, but the price levels are comparable.
No, they're not.
Comparable.
I
had a feast, dude.
The mind said we are cheap.
Right, exactly.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're comparable, and the only way I would know is because I've been to both.
Look, for what I normally buy at Cheesecake Factory, I had a feast at Chili's. I was living like a king. I had like 4 margaritas.
I'm not sure if that's
2 chips and dip. I had honey chipotle crispers with fries. My wife had whatever she had. Our bill was $100.
Just for the record, this man just rattled off his entire order from the last time he was at Chili's. Okay.
Which was like a couple days ago.
That's very.
Did you enjoy yourself now?
I did.
That's all that matters.
It was
all that matters.
You know, Steve over here, he's got to, you know,
I'm just saying.
Waiting on him.
Right, white tablecloth, sterling silver cutlery, suit and tie.
On,
Steve get in there, he'd be like,
"Hey, listen, man, listen,
just
listen. Maybe it's the Irish in me, but I'm gonna tell you
Bring
right
me
now.
the cow.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Generally speaking, if it's got a drive-through window, I'm not eating there. Let's start there.
Oh my god,
bro! I stand on that. I stand on it. My kids might want to eat there, and I might buy them food from there from time to time.
Oh my god!
But unless I am dying of thirst, if it's got a drive-through window, no, sir. I'm sorry.
So you're not eating no fast food.
Here's the thing. Didn't stutter. 100%. 10 toes. There's one exception.
Wow.
Chick-fil-A from time to time is an exception.
So what if Buc-ee's gets a drive-through window?
That's what we call an existential crisis.
That's what it is. Carolina, sir. I need you to come back over here.
Yeah, Houston's
I need you.
No, I was like that before I left North Carolina. Like my exception in North Carolina was Cookout.
Bojangles.
Okay, and Bojangles sometimes. But here's the thing. I ate so much Bojangles in the year 2000 and 2006, 12. In the year 2012, 2009, 9, maybe 10, that if I don't ever have Bojangles again, I'm fine.
I feel you on that. No, I feel him on that because when I was in school at Shaw, I had Bojangles. So the Supremes, I had them so much. I'm good. I'm okay.
No, you're not feeling me, Jason. Just so you remember the apartment that you used to pick me up from. Okay, there was a guy that went to our church that I met. He had a situation, so I was like, "You and your son can move in," because I had a bunch of bedrooms at the time in that apartment. I had like 4. I don't remember. I had a really good deal. It was like $600 a month. Jeez. Anyway,
those were the days.
It was a Nigerian hustle to get that rate, but I promise you, it was the best rate. Anyhow, he didn't have a job, so we helped him get a job at Bojangles, right? So every night he would come home with 3 boxes of chicken. Every night from Bojangles.
I remember.
Yes.
Because when you didn't want it, you would knock on my door.
Bro, who do you know walks down the road to take boxes of chicken to somebody else? That's how much Bojangles chicken I had. So when I say I don't eat Bojangles chicken, that's why.
Okay.
Like for like that's 6 months straight, I ate Bojangles. I've had everything on their menu 20 times over.
I don't think I've had Bojangles I haven't had Bojangles this year. Maybe once this year.
I have Bojangles like once, maybe twice a year.
My son Sam was like, "Man, I gotta go back to Charlotte, man. I really miss Bojangles," and I'm going.
You're not missing anything.
Not missing a thing.
Not missing.
I mean, it's not like it's,
Not even Waffle House.
Waffle House don't have a drive-through window. There are rules to this. You thought you was gonna get me. You fuck. Matter of fact, I had Waffle House on Sunday. What are you talking about?
There's Waffle House in Houston?
All right.
Yes.
Waffle House everywhere. Come on now.
Waffle House everywhere.
Waffle House not on the West Coast.
Okay, besides
it must stop in Texas.
They don't deserve it.
There's like 4 Waffle Houses in a 3-mile radius from my house, bro.
Oh, wow.
Waffle House is too hood for that.
Now, not to go down the rabbit hole, but the Waffle House that you frequent, is it all clean and up to par, or has it got a little ratchet to it?
It depends on when you go.
Okay.
Like, so here's the thing. All right, since we're in this rabbit hole, here's what I noticed from my Waffle House exploits. Okay, there's a cleaning schedule to Waffle House, right? If you go to Waffle House while the sun is down, there's a very good possibility that the cleaning that was supposed to happen while the sun was down did not happen. So you get a Waffle House that is kind of in need of something.
TLC,
right? Yeah. TLC, right?
Dirty.
But because they had so many customers, it's expected and understood.
Right.
However, if you go to Waffle House on Sunday afternoon at like 2:00. That means it's kind of like 2 or 3 hours after the cleaning that was supposed to happen on Saturday night, but didn't happen until Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have an opportunity to have a clean Waffle House experience. Now, it doesn't make the food taste any better, but the seats be clean sometimes. The seats are clean sometimes.
My beef with Waffle House is just the fact that they usually, if I'm not sitting down to eat, they treat me like a second-rate citizen.
But they treat everybody like a second-rate citizen.
Mm-mm.
So it's equality.
Mm-mm. Not mine.
Which one you go to?
One up here. I can't disclose. It's store 911. Let's put it that way.
This man goes
Store
there so
number
much. He knows the store number.
Off of Harris.
The fact that Jason knows the Waffle House
Statesville
naming code is absolutely hilarious.
Like, I'm so glad that they started doing the mobile orders, because usually it would take, when I would walk in there, it would take like 10 to 15 minutes just for somebody to acknowledge me to take my order. And then it would take like 20 minutes after that to actually get my order. And I'm normally just in there for my wife just to get her an all-star breakfast, bacon, hash browns, and egg scrambled with American cheese.
Okay. Does she get she's hash browns regular or like scattered, covered, and smothered? Like what?
She didn't.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I used to live very close to that Waffle House.
We're here, Jason. What is your Waffle House order? We're off on tangents, people. I'm sorry. I don't even know where we're on the show notes. Doesn't matter. We're talking about Waffle House. What is your order, Jason, at Waffle House? I know what my order is.
I used to have an OG Waffle House order.
Okay. Talk to me.
They don't make it anymore, but it is a cheesesteak wrap. Add egg.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I understand this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So you would walk in the Waffle House, sit down, and you would tell the waiter or waitress that you wanted a steak wrapped with eggs. A cheesesteak wrapped with eggs. You would tell them that, and they would bring it out to you.
Yep.
Rich. The only person I know take a walk in the Waffle House and order something that's not on the menu, and they bring it out. Good job.
That's when Waffle House had wraps, and they were doing the Caesar wrap for lunch, but no one ever ordered the Caesar wrap, so they just had the wraps there. One that went in, just, you know what, I ain't feeling like putting it on a bread, just put it on the wrap for me.
I've never heard of someone having an off-menu custom Waffle House order. This is a first.
Hot sauce on it, man.
Look, that sounds amazing.
but you know, obviously they got rid of the wraps, so now I do. Depending on how I feel, I might just do the classic all-star scramble, no cheese, no hash browns, no grits.
Have you guys noticed that your orders are never the same price?
Obviously, yes,
bro. Okay, this is a source of consternation for me.
Like, I don't get it. Like,
because I know how much my order is supposed to be, but every time I go, they give me a different price. I'm not talking about after the taxes. I'm talking about before the taxes.
Y'all just back there making up prices. Like, we'll do such and such thing. I was like, no. What's it say? What's it say on the menu? That's how much.
You know what's killing me now? That 56 surcharge per egg. That's throwing all my math off.
But you know what? That tells you that their eggs are really like. What is the training that you go through to learn how to make those eggs?
I know what the training is. You want me to tell you what the training is?
What's the training?
Okay. What they do is they tie one hand behind your back. You get 5 people in there, and they give them foam bats. And they have them beat you while you make eggs. And if you can finish the cooking of the eggs while they're beating you, then you can work there. That's the training.
Like, those eggs are just so perfect. Like, especially with scrambled with American cheese.
Because it takes focus. It takes focus. And they know you don't have focus if you can't finish the eggs while people are beating you while you were like.
And then have you ever tried to understand the way that they call the, like, how do you remember that stuff when they call out the
No,
order?
that's a language. I read an article about that a couple months ago. Like they have their own, most places in
Pull
food
one
prep
tray bacon. And you're like,
have their own way of calling out an order. Waffle House has their own language, and you have to learn it because you could be, sent to any Waffle House at any time, and everybody speaks the same language. So when you say this thing, the cooks know exactly what you mean. Like it's kind of like quarterbacks in football, right? True. Everybody thinks quarterbacks are stupid, but they're not, because they have to learn a second language other than English or Spanish or German, whatever their native language is. And so once you learn it, you can call out to your offensive line. Yes, I'm actually starting to get hungry as well. I'm thinking to myself, why don't I have a waffle right here? But to wrap this up, it's right down the street, man. It's like 6 minutes away. But to wrap this up, so we can move past patriarchy, the biblical perspective that people try to use is a false narrative, right? Absolutely. There is specifically a way that the Lord looks at men and women, right? And it is one where men and women, ability wise, are considered to be equal, right? Physically, they're not the same. It's not even the case. It's not up for debate, right? There's a leadership aspect of it that falls to men in a different way that it falls to women. But all in all, the very idea that women should be subjugated to men is one that has no actual what's the word I'm looking for here? No actual basis in fact.
Well, so the best way I can sum that up is God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called.
Wait, what?
Wait,
what? First of all, why are you trying to steal a quote that's like 12 years old, bro? Come on, man. I was stealing that. I was stealing that quote back in 2012.
Does the not fit?
Huh? I mean, it only kind of fits.
It doesn't only.
If we're being if I'm keeping it a buck, it only kind of fits.
How, Sway?
The fact that your voice went up 3 octaves means that I know that you know that it only kind of fits. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. It only kind of fits. Like it only. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? Like leaders are going to be leaders, whether they're men or women, and leaders that are sensitive to direction from the Lord are those that are called. There you go. See, I'm right there with you.
Very well said.
Hey, man, trying to close up the segment so we can get to something else. Shout outs. Do y'all have any shout outs? Because I have a couple. I know y'all got some shout outs. Hit me.
My lovely wife. That's always going to be a shout out. It's always going to be a shout out to our wife.
Seeing as how you work like 24 and a half hours every day, she definitely needs a shout out. And granted, Jason is going to Disney for a second time in 12 calendar months.
You couldn't let it go?
You know what? No, I told you I was going to say it on air. Here's the thing. His wife should definitely be able to go to Disney. The way that she holds it down while this man is working and providing for the family, you call her a lesser vessel if you want. I'm calling that an equal vessel that plays her part, right? Woman with a job that holds down the family should be able to go to Disney twice a year, at least.
I'm so glad you're in the headphones and not talking out loud.
Hey, I know what my audience is. I'm not going to sabotage you unless it's for laughs.
I would get tackled out this chair and she would take over agreeing with you up and down.
Look, man, look. I was telling my wife the other day. No, it wasn't my wife. What was it? I was telling my aunt about your wedding, about how I was talking to your wife the whole time. Like, yo, it's gonna be all right. He just, being Jason, whatnot. The whole time I was trying to keep her calm so that she don't like kill you when you show up. Yep. But we be on the same page. We vibing.
Anyway, yes. I will be going to Disney week after next. It's more like a family reunion type thing.
Don't be trying to you trying to make it seem like it ain't a trip to Disney. It's still a trip to Disney. Don't even try it.
We'll be going for 9 days?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, all right. See, I wasn't gonna do it. I was just gonna mention it and move past it. But apparently, you just said you're gonna be gone for 9 days. How many of those are gonna be at Disney?
6.
Okay,
No,
I
I
was
would
about
say
I was about to say
five.
this man.
anything above 3,
I was about to
5
say this
because
man
there's
says
5 parks.
9.
a park a day. This man's hitting hard.
5 parks, and we're doing Universal.
And he's doing Universal. Can I come?
All right, just as a recap for anybody that's watching, Jason just allocated that he is going to Disney and he's going to all 5 parks. He is about to be the Thanos of Disney parks. That's amazing. That is amazing. Matter of fact, Jason, that is so amazing. I think you should get a tattoo right there.
Pause. Pause. Yo. Pause. Nah, man.
Hey
This
man,
ain't
it
no
signifies something else. It signifies something else. That was an
Nah.
offline conversation. That was an
Nah.
offline conversation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Anyway, yeah, shout out to the wives.
Yo, okay, I'll give a shout out to my wife.
Shout
Seriously. Let me shout out. Oh, wait.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah, shout out to
No,
wife.
shout out to my wife.
No, I was gonna say
She
shout out
allowed
to
me
the
to.
coworkers that don't show up for work that give me all this overtime.
I mean, you gotta pay for Disney, man. You know what I mean?
That's all my wife. I can't take no credit for that.
Wait
wife.
for it. Wait for it. Dominique, wait for it. Let's see. Let's get my hand in the frame. Balling. All right.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So shout out to Anthony Mackie. Right. He's got an interview on The Pivot. Okay. And his interview on The Pivot is really good. Right. So The Pivot is a podcast with Ryan Clark and 2 other people. I don't remember their names at the moment, but Anthony Mackie's on there because he's being interviewed because he was in Captain America, A Brave New World. And so he talks about a lot of things. And right now the internet is ablaze because he talks about his desire to teach his children masculinity, right? And like he's serious about it and he's talking authentically about it. And everybody's up in arms as if teaching his son's masculinity is a bad thing, and overlooking the entire story that he provides on The Pivot of the reason why he took the role in Black Mirror so that he could understand the friends, family, and his coworkers that were gay.
Yeah, that was a crazy episode.
So, okay, do you know the episode we're talking about, Jason?
I saw snippets of it. I didn't see the entire interview.
Okay, so there's an episode in Black Mirror, I believe it is season 2, where Anthony Mackie is in it, and he's in it with Yaba Martin,
something like that.
And so they are friends, but outside of their friendship, they actually meet in a virtual world, right? They put on like these VR headset, kind of like the Oculus, and they're in this virtual world. And in this virtual world that, like, I don't even remember if they knew that they were who they were in this virtual world, but this virtual world was so encompassing that they developed feelings for each other because the virtual world was so real. And in real life, they shared a real life kiss on screen, right? Now, the relationship didn't go farther past that. And that one kiss on screen was the only thing that they did. But on the podcast, the same podcast where he talks about teaching his sons what masculinity means, and he opined about the death of masculinity within the United States because there is an attack on masculinity in the United States as a response to masculinity's assault on the equality and the equal nature of women. He says he took this role so that he could understand a community that he was not a part of better, right? And I was watching it and I gained a lot of respect for him as an actor, as a Black man, and as a person that is trying to be sympathetic, right? In his relationships with people, because he works with all kind of people, right? So big shout out to him for that, right? That's one of my shout outs. Another of the shout outs would be shout out to everyone that survived the weekend. I don't know about you,
Singer? Yeah, man. That's
but last weekend was a bad weekend. Like, did y'all have any weather in North Carolina? Because it was bad. Like, 18-wheelers were being pushed over on the highway.
Yeah, man. We
Like,
I saw what happened down in Texas with those trucks. That's crazy. What's crazier is the fact that the truck drivers know this and they're still going.
okay, so I talked to a truck driver on Sunday, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that happens out in Odessa, out in West Texas all the time." I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
And you're okay with this? Like,
That's the question I want to ask. And everybody's okay with this? Like, the first time I'm driving and the wind blows me over in an 18-wheeler, I'm done driving 18-wheelers. I'm done.
I wouldn't be done driving 18, but if you know and you're getting constant alerts about high winds, you know you're susceptible to be, on your side. I mean, you might want to sit this one out. Wait till the wind blows by.
Might want to sit this one out. Might want to sit this one out.
Yeah. In the Carolinas, we got at least up my way, we got a lot of rain, a lot of thunder and
Really?
lightning, a lot.
We had a decent amount of
Yes.
Like, after we got off last week, I was getting alerts that there were like forest fires or brush fires happening in and around like Mecklenburg County, right? Like a few weeks ago, they were happening in South Carolina, but this last week they were supposed to be happening in North Carolina, and I was like,
well, the one in South Carolina, that was some lady whose fire just got out of control, burned up 2,000, and they're taking her to jail.
Oh yeah,
really? Yep. For an accident? Is she black?
No, I don't think it was an accident.
It was no accident. They ruled it as arson.
Yeah.
Oh, so she actually set the fire. Not like she had a fire in her home and it got out of control. She like set.
It's not like, because down there they have like burn barrels or whatever. It wasn't like that. It was, she purposely did something. And Myrtle Beach was a blaze.
It was
literally
a blaze. I got the notification over here, and I was like, you know how much Myrtle Beach has to be burning for me to get the notification while I'm in Texas?
Well, my question was, I was like, all that water, y'all can't put that fire out? Like,
water where? You mean from the ocean?
At the beach. Yes. You better do something.
They don't use ocean water because it's corrosive.
So is fire. So is fire. It does not matter.
I am not doing this with you.
Either way, with all the forest fire, all the rain we got, there's no more fire.
Right.
There's no more fire. Matter of fact, there was a couple of tornadoes that touched down. The fire probably blew away somewhere.
I saw it, dude. Yesterday, actually earlier today, there was like a earthquake in San Francisco. It was like 4.3 or 4.5 or 6 on the Richter.
Oh, that's light.
Yeah, that's
light.
It's moving and shaking, but ain't nothing falling down. So, so yeah, shout out to everybody that survived last week. Shout out to Sara Inama. Okay. Slightly rabbit hole, but Sara Inama is a teacher in the state of Idaho, and she put up in her classroom a picture that says, "Everyone is welcome here," and it had a bunch of hands of different colors with hearts in it, and they're trying to fire her.
Nice.
That's ridiculous.
And she's standing on business like, "No, I'm not taking it down. No, I'm not issuing an apology. Yes, everyone is welcome here in my classroom," because she's in middle school. And they're trying to say that the very notion that this picture of kids' hands with hearts in them is divisive. I posit because of I count 15 hands on there, only 3 of them are white. Only 2 of them are white, right? And so whiteness is doing what whiteness does. It's protecting itself from the very notion that it could no longer be a thing. and they're trying to fire her because she's using that image to promote inclusivity within her classroom, which, if you've ever been a teacher in a classroom, you kind of need if you're going to teach students.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. I hope her situation works out well, although I feel that it will not. So there's that. Anyhow, anybody got a soapbox moment before we get into the home stretch of this? Because we got like 25 minutes, 24 and a half minutes.
I do, but I can't talk about it.
Oh man, come on. I need a soapbox moment that you can talk about.
Oh, you know what? No, hold on. Not to go too far ahead.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to our reducing gas prices. Dom, this doesn't concern you. In North Carolina, our gas prices here are
That's fair.
pretty much at $2.50.
Oh, for regular or for premium?
Regular.
Us peasants, regular.
What? I'm just trying to figure out what the prices are. What are you talking about?
I use regular. Okay.
I use regular too. I'm not the person that has a premium vehicle. My wife, on the other hand, has a vehicle that it, $297. Oh yeah, by the way, in Texas, premium is $297.
I was feeling good there for a moment.
I'm here to dash the unsubstantiated joy, Jason. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you. Yeah,
They've
filled
come
up the
down.
other day.
Mm-hmm.
It took me $65.
God,
I was so happy. I'm here clicking the pump like something's messed up with the pump.
More, please, more.
No. Because since I've owned my truck, I have never seen that low from dead E to full. $65. Never seen it.
Hey, I gotta ask you a question, and I want to know if it's just me. Like at the height of the high gas prices, I was looking at gas going, man, it's all so expensive, man. I'm just gonna put premium in my vehicle. Yes. Remember, it was like $3.60 a gallon, and premium was like $4 a gallon. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put premium in there.
Premium here, and when the gas prices were high,
Yeah,
I was driving an Acura, and for those who don't know, Acura takes nothing but premium.
Premium. Yep.
Gas here was over $5. Guess which vehicle got sold with the quickness?
Deuces.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knows how quiet Dom is. He just.
Yeah, he don't know nothing about this. Shout out to gas prices being low, though. You know what I mean? Shout out to gas prices.
When's the last time you actually pumped gas?
When he went to Florida on that trip, for his son in the football game.
Yeah. And
you remember what it smells like?
Yeah. And I was appalled at how much it cost me to fill that thing up. I was like, we just need to get there because this is
not the
We need to hurry this thing up. Look, I never penny pinched gas before, but I was just like, yeah, we just need to get there. We need to make it back. Dad, here's your car. Here's your gas. You can keep it. Thank you.
Sound like you need a Vespa Model X
with extended range.
He's not denying it.
He's not denying it. He probably got one in his cart, just waiting to hit order.
Just waiting. Probably a Plaid at that.
No, God, no.
Probably.
Range. I prioritize range.
Will you do the traditional steering wheel, or are you doing the yoke?
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That doesn't answer the question.
If I was to, I would prefer a regular steering wheel, but if not, I'll take a yoke. It's not really a big deal. They're getting ready to refresh the Model S and X this year, so that means a lot of people are going to be trading in their current ones, which means I'm looking at like the 22, 23, possibly 24s.
Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the car market is so soft that they have to discount the models, particularly the one that you want, by $20,000.
I received that.
Hell, I received that too.
I didn't say that as a blessing. I said it as I want to go out of business, but hey, take it how you get it, baby.
That is a blessing. I'll take that.
I would take that. I would definitely get a Tesla.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But I do have
okay, hit us with it, Dominique.
So it's starting to come out now, but essentially Trump rescinded the ban. So segregated facilities are no longer explicitly banned in federal contracts.
Oh, talk about it. Please talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What
whiteness?
What purpose does this serve to go back so far to say, you know, we're gonna bring this back, we're gonna bring that, like that doesn't set us on the path to go forward. That doesn't help anybody.
He's trying to make it great again.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. In other words, he wants to go back to the past, not back to the future.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
like especially when he talks about tariffs, he's like, yes, when back in the early 1900s, we were a tariff country. It's like, yeah, but we didn't have as many programs as we do now. Genius.
I heard someone say the reason why the nation could survive off of tariffs back in the late 1800s and early 1900s because there was no municipal transportation system.
Exactly.
And so you can survive off tariffs. But seeing as how we have streets and lights and highways and state highways and bridges and roads and overpasses, you kind of have to raise more money than tariffs are going to bring in, unless you put a tariff on everything and then you just put an additional tax on your citizens, it is,
which is still mind-boggling that, you know, at this point it's like, you know what, he knows what he's doing. He knows that it's not these tariffs, he knows that it hurts the American people, not whatever country that he's imposing them on. And he's literally he's systemically dismantling this nation for some other nation to come in here to cause stability again. And that country is probably Russia.
So Dominic, you raise a really good point, a really good shout out, a really good soapbox moment, right? Most people don't understand that the executive order that repealed the protections for federal contractors is one that made it so that there can be whites only establishments and bathrooms and accommodations throughout people that work for contract for hire for the federal government. Which essentially means that in any federal building, there could be a whites only bathroom. And if you know anything about history, whites only bathroom was at the height of separate but equal, and it was anything but equal, right? The Trump administration is probing to see what they can get away with. It's probing to see what civil liberties it can wipe out. It's probing to see what levers of power it can control, right? Not only that, like, okay, so you talk about that. Mahmoud Khalil, right? A legal resident of the United States, like he's not in the process. He's finished the process. Legal resident, married to a U.S. citizen, was arrested and detained for protesting, which the last time I checked was a part of the Constitution and our actual rights. He was detained for that with the risk of being deported, right? The administration is probing to see exactly what it can do and exactly what levels of power it can access without people being up in arms. And like
last week, they got rid of every public image of Black people in the military.
Yeah.
Completely got rid of it.
Yeah.
And then especially this one, especially, it was I forget what the first name of it is, but it's a plane, but the last name of it was gay. And essentially because
they
it said
said
gay,
gay.
they took it off.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a name, you idiot.
Yeah. But
Like,
there's nuance to be had, but there's not nuance that is accessed. They don't care about nuance. This is a sledgehammer type situation. So
like,
yeah.
I really don't understand. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I understand it's reality, but it's just like, I don't like, are you really in the Oval Office strategizing over this? Like, yeah, we need to do this. Oh, yeah, we need to do that.
He's not, but his advisors have been for the last 8 years, if not longer.
I think they're just jotting down whatever comes to the top of his head.
Nah, bro. I if that were the case, I would feel better about the situation. But that's not the case.
Sure.
Right? It's not like he's having all of these ideas off the top of his head. He's reading from a playbook. We know what the playbook is.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens that playbook is being executed
very well, actually.
What happened today? What happened today? The 18th of Tuesday. All right. The 18th of March, Tuesday, the 18th of March. A judge recently told the Trump administration something that they could not do.
Mm-hmm.
And the administration did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You cannot deport these people
for
this reason. The court said you could not do that. Federal court. The administration did it anyway. And their response was, and their excuse was, it was a oral order. Now, if you know anything about court, you know that when a judge says something, whether it's an oral order or a written order, it goes into the record that the stenographer takes as the enforcing order from the court. Okay? That happened, and the administration ignored it. And so now the question now is whether or not the administration gets to ignore orders from the court, right? Most people don't know. It's kind of a gray area, only because when the court gives an order and you don't comply with it, there's this thing called contempt that you could be found in. But the only time you could be hauled into court and put into jail on charges of contempt is if the federal marshals come to your home, your place of business, find you, track you down, and put you in jail.
They're not going to do that.
Ask me. No. Ask me who the federal marshals are managed by.
The White House.
Trump.
No, sir. The Department of Justice. Ask me who's running the Department of Justice.
Trump.
Pamela Bondi. Pamela Bondi is the same attorney general from the state of Florida that declined to prosecute Trump, although he had classified materials at Mar-a-Lago.
Yep.
But he didn't know he had classified materials. It's not his fault.
You're trolling. So the same attorney general that would not prosecute him for having classified materials in Mar-a-Lago is removing the ability from the court to use marshals to enforce a ruling of contempt, which literally means that the administration can do whatever it wants because there is no checks and balance.
They've gotten rid of all the checks and balances. They're consolidating powers. Like everybody's unified on this one thing, and it's just like, what the heck? And then on top of that, I sent this to you guys earlier. Another plane went down.
Dominic, every week Dominiqu's gonna come on here and he's gonna tell you about the plane that went down because that man is having a problem. All right, Dominic, tell us about this one.
Well, because the thing is, this shouldn't happen. And even and you know what? I reconciled a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, when Jason was like, it happens more often than not. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. But it's usually like 2 or 3 a week at this point. I'm like, that's not normal.
No,
it can't be normal. Ain't no way.
Saw the FedEx one. Saw the FedEx one that was caught on tape, on fire in the sky. No, okay. Commercial airlines falling out of the sky under bad and circumspect weather circumstances is one thing. A FedEx plane on fire in the sky,
that's a
bro.
problem. That's amazing.
It's just one engine on fire. I'm not even joking. It's just one engine on fire.
Okay,
They
so
can put it out in
okay,
the air
so
and keep it
Jason,
moving.
Jason,
Us
Jason,
normal people, that's a
Jason.
problem.
Just like saying there's one testicle on fire. I'm sorry. One is too many. One is too many.
Like,
You got a minimum of 2 engines. You can still
like
fly with the other one.
no, I don't. I can't reconcile this. Like, what happened? Why are these planes going down like this? Like, there's no way that they're all just falling apart at the same time because they were manufactured at the same time. It can't be anything like that.
I have a theory.
Talk to us,
Please.
Jason. Help us out.
Roll with me on this.
Okay. Down the rabbit hole we go.
So the myth about there being a weather machine, have you noticed, let's say in the last 6 months, our weather has been all
Crazy.
kinds of crazy. Like just out of the blue, all kinds of crazy. There was not any pre-marker signs to it saying this. Weather officials not even saying it's El Nino, El Nino,
Mhm.
El Chupacaro. It don't matter who.
Chupacabra.
They not blaming on them. They're just as confused as we are, right?
Right.
What if somebody just left the weather machine on? It's throwing off the atmospheric pressure, which planes need to fly, causing all these hiccups.
So that's not completely far fetched. Out in the desert, they actually do this. I think it's down in Dubai, where they actually create clouds for rain.
Right.
It's some way of actually
Called
manufacturing.
cloud seeding. Called cloud seeding.
Yes. And
So
but it's just, but still, like Mother Nature's not happy. Like
Oh no, she pissed.
since Trump got in office, the universe is off balance. Like it doesn't like anything. And you can't tell me that these planes are not that sign. You can't convince me otherwise.
okay, so uh, Jason, your theory is very interesting because yes, nature is off, right? And not because of the cloud seeding, right? Because cloud seeding has been happening,
Mm.
right? It's off because an almost immeasurable amount of fresh water has been introduced into our ocean's ecosystems.
True.
Okay. That fresh water is causing warmer water. And it's that warmer water that is screwing up our weather patterns in ways that we have never experienced in this country, in ways that were only being experienced in other countries because of the crowd seeding that we were doing here in America. Like we weren't doing a whole lot of it, but we were doing enough of it. But now these weather events are happening so much and so frequently and so intensely that even the cloud seeding that we would do ain't helping. Like,
I agree with your wife. Weaponized weather.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm not saying that they don't shoot aluminum into clouds and places where they want water to rain down, right? The only problem is we're not just talking about water. We're talking about high winds. We're talking about extreme cold. We're talking about extreme dryness that ends up turning into brush fires. Like all of these are okay. This is how old I am. All of these are things that Al Gore talked about in
Wow.
2001 when he came out with that documentary. And everybody was like, "Well, we can't call it global warming. We got to call it climate change," which is what the Republicans pushed for because they didn't want the idea of the fact that the globe was warming to be something that was on Americans' minds. Because at that point, America was smart enough to associate global warming with a bad thing, so they call it climate change, which nobody could really comprehend.
Not to
But that's
mention,
what it is.
they, again, this is just part of my theory. I may be wrong. This sudden weather change, not only is it linked to the fresh water being added into the atmosphere, the non-stop launching of satellites. It
Yeah,
eventually, now roll with me here.
yeah.
Every time you launch a satellite, the Earth's natural magnetic field gets a little weaker. You're literally throwing up their radio signals, and what do magnetic waves feed off of? They either feed off of radio signals or they bounce back off of radio signals. Am I
Yeah.
right, Don?
Yes.
The
And
more
also,
you add in there, you're making it like a net now. everything is being constricted. All this has natural effects on the magnetic poles of the Earth.
When you get time, look at or Google um, the evolution of the magnetic true north.
Oh yeah.
Now, right, like most people don't know that that true north, right? Like you have a compass points towards the north. You look at the sun, you can figure out where it's east and west, and you look at the Moss, and you figure out what's north and south, right? The magnetic true north has been shifting over time. Like that's a natural a part of the life cycle of the Earth. But when you add that with things like satellites and with things like the introduction of billions of gallons of fresh water into the ocean, we got things that we've never we've got situations that we've never had before. You know what I mean? Like when I moved to Texas and when I moved to Houston, first month that we were in Houston was the hottest month that Houston had ever had in ever. How hot was it? It was 105 degrees for 30 days straight. 105. And at night, around midnight, it was 80 degrees. I tell people, my first week in Houston, I went outside because Sherelle sent me outside to get some out of the truck. And I walked outside after taking a shower and I immediately started sweating. And I said, why am I sweating at 11:30 at night? It's because it was 83 degrees at 11:30 at night.
That's beautiful.
Geomagnetic.
No, it's not. It is not.
I love warm weather.
Okay, Jason. There's warm weather, and then there's hell. Okay. Warm weather I like. Hell, not so much.
Facts. That's true.
It was so hot. I would get in my car and I would drive for miles, right? And every community in Texas has a swimming pool. Nobody would be out at the pool. Like nobody would be out at the pool. You want to know why? It's too hot.
And honestly, and the water acts as a almost as a magnifying glass too.
It magnified, yeah, exactly. It's too hot.
So it's nothing but just hot tubs now.
Well, no, it's not that.
What can you do?
So here's the thing. Sometimes it's not. You can be in cold water and still get a sunburn because you don't necessarily feel the heat, but it's the sun's rays regardless.
Also, Dominique, consider this. That's assuming you're in cold water.
Right.
If it's 83 degrees at 11:30 at night and around 3 o'clock, it's only 78 degrees. Ain't gonna be no cold water, bro.
Yeah.
Your water's gonna be by 1 o'clock. Your water's gonna be 80 degrees. I don't know the last time you were in 80-degree water, but I'm here to tell you, not a pleasant experience.
But yeah, now that you guys say it, it does bring something back. Yes, we are in the middle of what's called a geomagnetic reversal, where poles are actually the poles are actually flipping.
They're moving.
The world has to actually flip to do it. It's just that, and this has happened multiple times in the Earth's history, but this is the first time that has happened. I think while people, or maybe not, this
during
is
the social media age.
Yes.
Yeah, during the social media age, and the first time that has happened when people are here on the Earth.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, it's but I mean it still has no bearing on why the planes are crashing. And like
Dominiqu's stuck on the planes. He's stuck on the planes.
I've been on a lot of planes in my life and I've never, and it's like now it's just a lot of them, and you know it makes me nervous because I really want to go back to Germany, but I can't because then you got to take a plane because I don't feel like doing a boat because I'm afraid of deep water and the rest of that, and it's just like it's very concerning.
Dominique,
very concerning.
Did you drive anywhere today?
Oh yeah, yes. I
okay, all right.
Not to keep going down this hole. SpaceX launched 23 satellites today.
They've got thousands up there.
23 alone today.
That's rookie numbers. That's just replacing.
They're trying to put up satellites so that Starlink, can be a serviceable internet provider.
Those 23 are just replacing ones that have broken and probably collided with other ones. They've had launches where they've launched.
Wait a minute.
Have you guys ever seen geofencing?
Yeah.
Yes. How old is SpaceX? Ain't SpaceX less than 10 years old?
Not less than 10, slightly, not more than 20.
Why on earth are there satellites falling out of the sky and needing to be replaced after less than 20 years? Is that supposed to make me feel better or worse about SpaceX?
However you take it.
I thought the entire idea of a satellite being in orbit is that it doesn't crash into other things.
They're not in full orbit.
They're always on a descending orbit.
Yeah, they're not in full orbit.
I'm sorry. You said that like it makes a difference. I thought the entire idea of a satellite is that it doesn't crash into other things. You know what that makes me ask? Who's doing the calculations? Because you have an idea of what the satellites out there are out there already and what their flight paths are. Yeah. If you're saying to me you can't put a satellite in space that doesn't collide with other satellites, you shouldn't be in this business.
So Bezos and his team, they have SpaceX was assigned an altitude.
Mm-hmm.
And so was Blue Origin and whoever else. Okay. You get assigned an altitude and your stuff has to stay in that altitude. But it's not as far as orbit. It's in between. So I'm not making any excuses because it's stupid to me too. Because I'm like, you should be able to, if you're able to send that stuff up there and do all of this, they should be smart enough to shift with each other. They really should. So I don't know what to make of that. Honestly,
they can't.
It's stupid.
I mean, I'm not going to accuse you of having fanboy conversation at the moment. I'm just thinking to myself, you can't claim to be one of the smartest guys on the planet or even a smart guy if you can't employ people that will make sure that the satellites that you put into the atmosphere do not stay within the height requirements that you were given by the government.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I 100% agree.
It's something that's going to happen because, again, all satellites, they're not stuck in the same altitude. They're slowly descending. Look at the International Space Station. It's slowly coming into the burn zone where it won't be usable anymore.
Yeah, but it's still okay. Coming to the burn zone so that it will, disintegrate in the atmosphere is one thing. Like that's a part of the life cycle of the thing that you put into space. But before it hits the burn zone, while it is in semi-orbit, it shouldn't be running into stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyhow, I will not get on my soapbox about that because we're at 1 hour and 33 minutes, and we forgot to let our Carolina Storm audience go earlier. Yes, we do recognize that weaponized weather is a thing, and that Ebola, not Enola. Yep, that thing as well.
Yeah, the Enola Gay was the name of the plane.
Yeah. And that Starlink and Apple now have this situation where Apple uses their satellites to allow your iPhone to make satellite phone calls
when you don't have cell signal.
When you don't have, that's the thing. Or when you're out waypointing with your, that is a thing. But
and SpaceX was founded in March 14th, 2002.
I know Disney man ain't saying nothing.
Money, bowling.
I would trade all the watches in the world to be going to Disney for 7 days.
Twice a year.
Thank you, Dominique. Icing on the cake. Twice a year.
This is the first time for the year.
The calendar year, yes.
Wait, no. Do you really want to do this?
No, not on air.
Because the first question was, sorry, when was the last time you've been to Disney?
That's irrelevant. Why are you living in the past? You got to move forward, Stephen. You got to move forward. Can't keep going back.
Back to the satellites. Hey man, us Nigerians, we don't let stuff go. Okay,
Oh my
just so
God.
you know, we don't let stuff go. Hey, okay,
Mm.
last thing we gotta go. So when I was in college, when I was like 6'2", 203 pounds, like cut, like 8% body fat, like I had an 8-pack and everything, and I was playing basketball, and I ain't know nobody. They used to call me Amistad, and I used to hate it. When the woman said you got Nigerian in your blood, I looked at my brother. I said, "I guess I am Amistad." Shout out to John Man Hutsu. Anyhow, well, let's see. Is it my turn or is it your turn? It'll be my turn.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in to another Fear the Hive 1155 podcast. Please remember to like, comment, and share this with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the U of the Tube. You got Dom, Steve, and myself, JJ. Wishing you all a blessed night and a happy week. Peace.